Noeleen, a very happy new year to you.
And to the whole of South Africa. Let's make it not such a tough year, meaning don't use those words all the time and change our perception about the new year. So a good one for that one.
Indeed. So when we talk about the way that we look, we're all conscious about how we look and what we put into our bodies. But are we as conscious about what we put into our bodies, actually? I beg your pardon, because you find that what you eat is who you are.
Well, I don't want to burst South Africa's bubble here, but every new year they have New Year resolutions, which are invariably broken after 2 weeks. So why don't people have a different look at themselves? How do you eat? What triggers your emotional thoughts? What's going on around you that you can't manage? Because those are the reasons why we eat badly. So I would advise everyone to start with baby steps, like setting your alarm and not pressing snooze as you wake up. So small steps at the start of the day actually help eating all round. So even though you may want new dietary habits to come out, they're not. They're exactly the same. Eat mostly vegetables. But if you've never done that in the past, why should you start doing that now? So I would like people to look at their perceptions and learn how to change their patterns. Their hardwire brain is very hard to unlearn. So you need to know as much as about yourself. And then work on that first of all before we start looking at exercise and fitness. Although I've got one thing to say, if somebody is fit, they are having a much, much richer life. So, you know, starting off slowly and not setting yourselves unattainable goals so they're not broken after 2 weeks is your main focus.
I'm glad you mentioned exercise. I'd like us to take a look at the relationship between exercise and food. You find someone that says, well, I may eat rubbish, excuse the term, but I'm very fit. I go to gym. I do all the right things. What do you say to that?
Yeah. Well, it's almost impossible to run off bad quality food. So a person that's eating bad quality food can do a lot of exercise, which keeps you looking slim for a certain period of time. However, if they stop for a week or two, on holiday example, they will find that they've gained about 4 kgs, after a month. So what you eat today only shows in the future. And the most important thing is, what is the quality of the food you're eating? What are the percentages of the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats? Because that plays a big part in your body shape and the size. And as you know, obesity is huge in our country, and it boils down to education. And if people understood that food and behavior are totally linked, and it starts, first of all, with knowing about yourself. So dietary conditions for your future depend on how well do you know your mind, and nothing is going to change overnight. But you can start. I want to be positive about that. Tomorrow is a new day, and you just have to set goals and keep restarting.
Noeleen, you go and you want to buy an avocado and it's 30 Rand. We know that things are not cheap. In the absence of you not being able to afford the correct food, what do you then do?
Well, in fact, vegetables are very cheap in our country, vegetables and fruit. So if you can't afford to buy meat or products that cost quite a bit, you can get a lot of vegetable oils from your vegetables. So if you've got a balanced carbohydrate intake, starches, fruit and veg, and then you eat beans and mushrooms and grains, rice, those are all very good proteins. So it's not hard to eat cheaply if you know how to eat. But the problem is most of our people are eating junk food. So small amounts of junk food starve your body of nutrition, and that is our obesity problem. So it boils down to all the little snack foods that you consume that you're totally unaware of in a day are adding up, causing illness, and obviously piling on those kgs. So that's a good start, is have a look, how many processed foods do you eat in a day?
Noeleen Bridle, quite the challenge you are offering us. Thank you very much. And she is a nutritionist, helping us to start the year correctly in terms of what we put into our bodies as well. It's not just what we put on.